Welcome and thanks for joining me today to hear about how the school is doing as we move into the spring semester. We have this State of the School event, and the state of the school is strong. I've always wanted to say that. The presidents get to say it every year, and so now I got to say it. But truly, the state of St. Gabriel's is absolutely in just the best shape it could possibly be. And it is so exciting to be part of this community, especially right now as we are working together in such a beautiful and symbiotic way. We talk often of the partnership that we have between our school and our families. And part of that is reaching out and asking for and receiving feedback through the National Association of Independent Schools survey that we began last year and will continue to do yearly. It is a really helpful piece of feedback to make sure that we are in tune with each other. So if you're able to be here today, that's fantastic. If you have questions as I'm going, the way this is set up so that you can see the screen well, is that you can type in questions. I won't be able to see them, but they're being sent over to me. I'll do my very best to be mindful of your time because we're all in our lunch hour, and also to answer questions. If I'm not able to get to them in a timely fashion, I will follow up with you individually. And of course, if you have questions that you want to just reach out and let's schedule some time together, I would absolutely love to sit. And as you know, how much I enjoy chatting about our school and could do so all day. So feel free to set up that time with me. So we are, our today's goal is a few things. We're really going to look at this as a look at the past, a look at the present, and a look ahead to the future. And so we'll be looking at what we did with last year's survey results and the feedback we received. Also, the annual report that will be coming out shortly. You'll all be receiving that and some really neat information in there. Then we'll look at this year. What was the feedback we received this year? And then what are we doing in terms of the strategic plan that was published in the fall? How are we doing in terms of implementing those pieces? And then finally, a look ahead. What are our plans as we move through the spring, into the summer, and into next year? So without further ado, off we go. So last year, we heard a lot of really incredible feedback from our families, and we're so grateful for that. It's incredible as we think back to what we've been through together. And how the pandemic has evolved over time. And last year, what we were able to accomplish between the dedication of the staff here on school and the commitment of our families at home was really just nothing short of extraordinary. In the midst of all that, we did a lot of things. We completed, and many of you took part in a strategic plan process. That with the consultants through Carney Sando, that was completed, and as you know, and posted on our website. And we overhauled the website. I felt very strongly that our former one did not accurately reflect who we are and all of the incredible things we do here at St. Gabriel's, and so that overhaul was completed, and that beautiful new website is up for everyone to see. We also worked very hard on curriculum alignment and a focus on enrichment within our instruction. And so, as you know, we partnered last summer with the College of William and Mary, their Center for Gifted Education. We did a lot of work with our faculty with them over the summer, and then a lot of planning for how to authentically bring that into classrooms. That's a work in progress. Those teachers are growing in their skills, great skills that they already had, and then learning to tweak those and use those in new and different ways. And so that's been really exciting this year to pull that training through the year and continue to focus on that. We also heard feedback of expanding our after-school programming and summer programming, and to that end we hired the amazing Crystal Kobe, our extended programming coordinator, who has had a laser focus on that programming after school and in the summer, and we're just so pleased with everything she's been able to do and continues to focus on as we move forward. We heard your feedback and my own desires around expanding our fine arts program, and we did. We built a band room. We hired a wonderful band director. We added fine arts electives as a result to our 3rd and 4th grades that they've never had before and have really been wonderfully successful. So we're so excited we were able to do that. We wanted to make sure that, small class sizes are important to you, they're important to us, and being able to really differentiate well to our students and be responsive to their learning is something that is of great importance to us. So we made sure that we hired extra faculty where needed, especially in the middle school. And so we had new language arts and science teachers hired for this year. Additionally, as I've said before, many of you who know me well have known that expanding the lower school Spanish program has always been of great importance to me, and we were able to do that this year. And Mrs. Way has been an amazing addition to our world language instruction, both in the lower school and bridging into the middle school, and so we've been so excited about that. And then, of course, the athletics piece, expanding and really focusing on the athletic programming through the incredible efforts of Riley Litherland and also our facilities are for athletics. And so as you have seen and can see each day as you come by, we are working hard on the track upgrade. The track that was here first laid in 1999 was ready to be redone, and we're getting that done in time for spring athletics so that our spring sports and our spring runners will have a beautiful new track to do that practice on. So a lot of great things have happened over the last year that I'm super excited about. In addition, we will be sending out our annual report that is a look back over the previous year and all of the incredible things that we did here on campus, as well as the unbelievable philanthropic generosity that you, our community, was so kind to give us that support in. Not only did it allow us to survive through last year, but to thrive, to really do what we needed to do to educate these children on campus as much as possible, and we did that better than anyone, as you know. In addition, you'll see that how much the community came together to the point where everything on that previous slide, all the things that we were able to do, much of that was achieved through your generosity and the philanthropy of this community. So that philanthropy is so important because every single child was affected directly by the philanthropy that you also generously bestowed upon the school. Additionally, you'll see that another thing that's really important to us is making sure that Catholic education is accessible to as many students as we possibly can. And you'll notice in the annual report that to that end, we were able to give over $1 million last year in tuition assistance to our families. And that is so important to us to ensure that we all of us hardworking families can give this incredible experience to our children. So the board remains committed to that goal and to the point of increasing that level of commitment as we move through into next year. So this year, thank you again for partaking in that NAIS survey. It's so incredibly helpful to me, in large part just to make sure that I'm in tune with what my community is thinking. And so the areas that you told us were of great importance to you were school climate, culture and values, character education, moral development and faith-based education, value proposition, small class size, high quality teachers and instructional delivery, school safety, technology resources, a challenging core curriculum and advanced classes, and leadership development and student advising. So these were the things that were the overwhelming response of, yes, those are really important things to us as a family. And then what was an overwhelming response of, these are real strengths. And a lot of those are really in tune with what's important to our families, and that was exciting to me. The strength is our academically challenging curriculum, our small class sizes, our character and moral development, athletics. That's so great. The focus that we've had on athletics is turning into a strength of ours, and I'm so happy. Our health, our focus on health and regular exercise, collaboration, skill development for our children, high quality teachers, excellent facilities, library and research resources, communication from school to home, our culture and faith base of our community and the culture here on school, and the overall warmth of our community. That's something that I hear all the time, especially from prospective families as they come in. Gosh, this is such a warm and welcoming environment. So those are wonderful, wonderful strengths. As we look ahead, areas that we are already working to bring consistency to ensure that across the board, the children receive a consistent experience in these areas, and that you also said are important to you to hope that that focus on consistency continues. Advanced curriculum across subject areas and grade levels. So continuing to really work on enriching and advancing curriculum in all areas for our children. Continuing the focus on world language instruction and continuing to bring that forward. I see there's a question about academic enrichment options in Spanish. And so that is absolutely something that would be part of that continued focus on world language instruction and focus on deepening and strengthening that programming. So thank you for that question. Continuing to focus on study skills instruction, especially in the middle school and the advising program. And those two things go hand in hand, and we have a lot of really exciting plans that are already in place as we move through into next year to really broaden how we're teaching the study skills and also bring consistency across our advising program. I'm so delighted with the incredible steps forward that our middle school advisors have taken this year, and that is an ongoing endeavor. Continued focus on extracurricular clubs and activities. Again, that is the exciting work that Crystal Kobe does for our school, and her work continues, and that programming will continue to grow. Service learning. I was so glad to see this as an area of desired continued focus because that is absolutely an area of desired focus for me as well. We are so lucky that we get to have a director of service learning here on campus, Mrs. Creed. She has done a lot this year already to create family service days that you have probably seen in our messenger and things like that. Also the tile on the MySGCS resource board for the Presidential Service Award that your children can continue to log hours into and work towards earning. That is absolutely a goal to continue to include service learning, not only in separate projects that we do for our community, but within curriculum throughout the day as the children are learning and growing and thinking about how does this connect with the environment and the community within which I live. Student support services, making sure that that is really well staffed. And I loved that feedback because that's exactly what we've been working on. We're so excited that we will soon be adding a fourth person to our student support services group so that we can really make sure that all of our children are being served across all of their needs, both relearning things, both and going deeper and enriching in certain areas. That student support services group is really an important group of folks, and we are adding to their numbers. And then continued focus again on the value proposition, on the cost value, that idea of ensuring that we are following through on everything that we say that we're doing. That when you pay our tuition, which I know as a mom who sent 2 children through, that's important. You want to know that money that we work so hard on to earn is well spent, and that the experience the children are receiving is what it should be. And so we are constantly focusing on that, and it's something very important to me as a mom and an educator. So those are the areas that we will continue to focus on. And so what are the next steps? What are the action steps around that? The strategic plan. It's important to me after all the work last year that we did to create the strategic plan, get feedback from our families, and really get down to those 4 areas of identity, community, curriculum and instruction, and resources. That we don't let that strategic plan become something that sits on a shelf and looks really nice and collects dust, but that we really do intentionally work through ensuring that we achieve those goals over those next 5 years. And so my leadership team and I have been working on an implementation plan so that that work can continue to happen. And so we are working very hard on our identity and understanding how to ensure that our Catholic identity is something that is easy to see and understand and feel throughout the day. Our community, the diversity of our community, and the warmth in our community, and the inclusivity of our community, ensuring that we are focused on the culture of our school continues to happen. Continued focus on curriculum instruction, enhanced programming for our teachers, for our students, and as well as continued professional development for our teachers, who are so outstanding at what they do, and continuing to ensure that they have the support they need to continue to develop skills. Also, in terms of curriculum instruction, ensuring that we are doing all we can in our athletics programming, our fine arts programming, and our after-school programs. And finally, resources. Really working with the board to steward our resources well, to ensure that we continue to grow the school's endowment, to work with our families on our culture of philanthropy and how important that partnership of philanthropy is to help us achieve that ongoing excellence. So that strategic plan is really important and alive and well. Again, world language instruction, continued focus on the growth and consistency of that programming and that department. And again, just like Mrs. Delota's question about even enriching within world language and Spanish, absolutely is an important goal. Fine arts programming, we've done so many great steps this year, and then continuing to grow that next year and embed a tradition of outstanding fine arts here at school. I'm so excited to continue that. I've loved watching my fine arts folks work with each other and for the children. It's been so exciting. Continued focus on the instructional enrichment and differentiation for our children. This is important to me. You know that we as a school believe so strongly in educating responsively to the children in front of us. We mean to do that in a very intentional and authentic way, not just pay lip service to that. So the extension from last year, our partnership with William and Mary, will continue into a partnership with the Center for Transformative Teaching and Learning this coming summer. And so that will really focus deeply on the next step, which is a focus on mind and brain research and how that supports learning and differentiation. So again, spending our summer and also into next year working on deepening those skills around enrichment for our children. Communication, consistent teacher-parent communication, that's important. We've made some really great steps this year in smoothing out the number of platforms that parents have to engage, especially in middle school as the kids get used to using MySGCS themselves. And so ensuring again that we are staying on top of that, and that how our teachers communicate with our parents is consistent and smooth and accessible for our families. Faculty, additional faculty again. We'll spend another year taking the next step in the plan and add 2 more teachers again next year in the middle school so that we have a fully staffed middle school. We're so excited about that, and excited to continue that excellence in the faculty that are here. We, as you know from the letter that we sent out before Christmas, we are putting into place a Director of Mission and Identity. Catholic identity as part of the strategic plan is something that's very important, that we are clear on and understand who we are. And so we are excited to be able to put that position into place. That person will focus on student retreats, in pre-K through 8, the advising system in the middle school, continuing to deepen that programming and again make that help to ensure its consistency across advisories. And then as well, really assist with faculty formation in their faith and continued work on what it means to be a teacher in a Catholic school. And then again, with our DRE, continuing to have open conversations and programming for our families so that we are a place that our families can continue to work on their faith as well. Again, as I said, the expansion of student support services, we're so excited to add that person here soon this spring. And again, like I said, the focus on service learning. And then finally, athletics. We're so excited about the work we've done this year with the program growth and the focus on really deeply training our coaches in who we are, of course, the track upgrade itself. But then, of course, we're so excited about thinking even more broadly about athletics and those facilities. And so we are really excited to let you all know that we will be upgrading the football field. Once the track is complete and our spring athletics are complete, we will move into upgrading the surface that our children play football and soccer and lacrosse on, as well as expanding the home seats so that the home seats are in the shade. As a mom who sat in the home seats in the sun, it is something that I'm looking forward to, getting to sit in the shade more comfortably. So we're really looking forward to next fall, starting the fall with a great new upgraded football stadium. And then we're looking forward to, from there, moving to the multipurpose field. The multipurpose field is something that, again, we will look to partner with our community for developing the philanthropy necessary to take that final step in upgrading that field so that we can have not only a place that is safe and lined with lots of different game spaces for children at recess so that every single child in the school will get to partake in that upgraded field, but in addition, have space to create a true-sized baseball field and softball field for our girls and boys that like those sports, to add soccer lines for our girls and boys that like that sport, to add lacrosse lines for girls and boys that like that sport. So it'll be a space, once it's completed, that every single child in the school will be able to enjoy to its fullest. So please look for information on that. We're excited to partner with you in a philanthropic effort to make that come to fruition as soon as possible for our kiddos. So that is that is it. And so now we are moving into forging the future. Again, that's the next step, that focus on the athletics facilities. And you've seen kind of the next action steps that we are taking based on the feedback we got this year. And then, of course, we have the ongoing conversations occurring with St. Michael's. As we sent a letter out in the fall, those conversations continue in a really positive and fruitful manner, and so we'll look forward to sharing more information with you about those conversations when that's available. So hopefully I have given you a good sense of where we are as a school. Look for in your mailbox for the annual report coming out next week so you can really dive into how we did last year together. Thank you for your continued support with your time, talent, and treasure to help us make this the most excellent school there is. It is such a pleasure and honor to be part of this community, and it is my deep thrill every day to come to work and see these children and work with you all as our families. So I look forward to talking to you. There's no more questions that I can see, but again, please reach out to me with any questions. I would absolutely love to get time to sit with you, and again, thank you for your participation today and always. Go Sabres.